So, are you doing a good job of managing your influencer engagement? Well, if you want to do it better, I'm standing next to Susan Emerick, who has that role with IBM, who has some great advice on how to do it. And we're here at the PR News Social Media Summit, where she just gave a presentation to the crowd that was extremely well received. So, what are the keys to managing influencer engagement successfully?
Well, thank you. I would say, as I discussed in the presentation, that influencers can really come from adjacent spaces, including not only your employees, but also your customers, or even other beyond traditional media like academics or other sectors. And really, anyone has a voice as long as they put a focus on that and build their visibility, they can become prominent and influential.
Great. One of the great things you've done is make successful use of your employees, which are such a key resource in communication. One of the great things is how it's changed is now there's so much more engagement of the internal audience for external communication. So how do you go about doing that? What are some keys to success?
I think one of the biggest keys to success is starting with early adopters, who raise their hand saying, I'm comfortable in collaborating online, building relationships, discussing or commenting on ongoing dialogue that's happening around a topic that they're, an authority on. So we have a program that we work on to help understand who are those individuals who are early adopters and are willing to connect both internally but most importantly externally. So I think starting with early adopters is a really good tip.
Great. And now you've got them, how do you give them guidance? Because maybe they're not professional communicators, but they do have that one thing that's so important. They have authenticity. So how do you work with them to make sure they're turning out the best content?
Right. So most importantly, you want to make sure that they have the right intelligence around. They're very busy people. They might only have a certain amount of time during the day. So ensure that the time that they do have is well spent. Through intelligence and providing them an understanding of relationships that are important to be focused on is very valuable, because then they'll be able to focus on, this is who I should talk to during this certain time, or this is a community that I should participate in most often, or this is a group that is relevant to what I have to share and is seeking out the kind of thought leadership that I alone may be a leader in, right? So that intelligence aspect of it. The other thing is they're not necessarily professional communicators, and they might need help, whether it is support for editorial, not that you want to necessarily change it from their own voice, but just really helping them with that kind of support.
And one of the things that I've seen is they tend to want help
Yes.
and be very open because they've established a leadership position within their own niche and specialty, and they tend to have more respect for people of that expertise in other areas and want to learn from them.
Absolutely. And I think, as marketing and communications professionals, we need to be the change agent to equip them. And people who are seeking out information online are not looking for us. They're not looking for more advertising or news pitches. They're looking for trusted people who are really working either in a particular field or in a topic that's of interest to them. And so helping those individuals that have that kind of expertise in that field and really being the change agent as a marketing communications professional to help them to be more visible is a new role that I think we as traditional marketing and communications professionals need to be thinking about. Our jobs are changing for sure.
Yeah, and that's some great advice. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.